Hey Gabsters, how you Gabsters doing? Thank you so much for joining me on another video. This is my PhD series. I believe that this is video number 5. Yeah, this is video number 5, I believe. So I do apologize that last month I didn't have a video up. I was just in the middle of emotional whirlpool of not nice feelings, so I really do apologize for not putting up a PhD series video last month, but I have one for you this month. And basically I'm going to try and explain to you why basically I've been feeling the way that I've been feeling about my studies. So I'll just go through the sort of what is supposed to happen, and then I'll tell you what happened to me. So basically, once you are I've got some notes also. But basically, once you've been accepted into the university, you've got your supervisor, you've got everything down. The university gives you, you're supposed to finish your PhD degree in 3 years. And what you're supposed to do in those 3 years is you're supposed to finish your proposal in the first 6 months, then you're supposed to spend the next 18 months doing your data research collection, your data collection, and then you're supposed to spend the last year doing your write-up. So you have 3 years basically. That's how the program is structured at my university. The university does, however, give you 2 years of leeway. So when you register, like my expected graduation date, even though my funding is for 3 years and the university gives you deadlines according to 3 years, they give you 5 years to actually graduate. I think they realize that, so you have 2 years that you can play around with. But that's not the point. That stuff doesn't matter because we're not there yet. And Lord, I speak it to existence, we are not going to get there ever. Okay, we are praying, we are knocking on wood, we're doing everything. So that is the plan. That's your 3-year program. That's how it's supposed to go, and that's how everything goes. So I show up last year. I'm now in my 2nd year. I'm towards the end of my 2nd year. So last year I register, and it basically takes me the whole year to figure out what it is I want to do my research on. So basically, come the end of the year last year, I'm already 6 months behind because my proposal should have gone in June. It is October, and I only decide in October that I actually want to go back to my initial topic and do my research on YouTube. So I start researching and I start doing writing my proposal over the November, December, January period. And basically the decision is made that my proposal should go in March of that year. And your proposal basically is you write your proposal, and then your supervisor goes through it and is supposed to give you feedback on, okay, is it a good proposal, fix this here, fix it there, and then it goes into the faculty. Okay, once the decision is made to hand your proposal into the faculty, you hand in your proposal to the faculty with a form. On the form you give 2 reviewers' names who will read who the university is going to send. They should be potentially related to your field or have done research in your field in some way. They get to read your proposal, and they decide whether your proposal should go through or shouldn't go through, or if it's acceptable but you should keep some things in mind, or if it is acceptable but you need to make major corrections and resend it to them before you can do it again, or it's rejected. So basically, my proposal gets sent in March, and May comes back and the readers have rejected it. They are like, no, this proposal is too big, the scope of your study is too big, you need to streamline it. They're not happy with my theoretical framework that I use. I sort of used labor. They're like, no, you can't use labor, it doesn't fit in. They're not happy with sorry, I just changed my battery. So basically, in early May, the readers come back and they've got 6 weeks to read the proposal and come back to you. They come back and they basically say, we reject this, go back basically to the drawing board. Now, it is May, which means I'm now 11 months behind schedule. And I am traumatized. I am like, what the heck? Like, can you really do this? Were you meant to do this? It's taken you so long to figure it out, and now your work is crap. And I mean, they came back with comments and specific areas that they wanted me to focus on, and they said that the research itself was valid and valuable and pertinent to, you know, digital media and current contemporary society and all of that stuff. But then they were also like, it's crap. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it. I'm not going to, I've had time to to swallow. For a long time I was like, no, they came back with comments with major corrections. No, they rejected it. It's been rejected. It ain't no thing. It is what it is. Accept it, move on, you know. I'm sure it's happened to other people. I just don't know any people that it's happened to, but I'm sure it's happened. But anyway, I think I'm just reopening old wounds now. It's very hard for me to say this. I don't even think I've told my family that this has happened. Okay. So, it gets rejected. And then you have 2 weeks to make the corrections that they want you to make, and then hand it back to the readers, and then the readers will come back and say, okay, we're happy with the corrections you've made or not. So I work sort of like really hard, scramble to try and make the corrections that they've made. And I also speak to a couple of people. I get a couple of new supervisors on board to help me, you know, sort of, you know, supervisors that, because my research at the time was sort of split up into social media stuff, into social economics, you know, that kind of stuff. And my supervisor is in medical anthropology. So, I mean, medical anthropology and social media and economics are not her forte. And she's like, look, we need to get people on board who can help you, and my role can be, you know, sort of structural, grammatical. When it comes to your proposal, I can help you with those kind of stuff, but we need support, and we need to pull people who are best suited for this job, and we can be team Gabster is what she's like. Yes, team Gabster. I'm like, yes, you know. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's get the team together. And we get a team together, and now I've got 3 supervisors. I've got someone in social media, I've got an economic anthropologist, and then I've got my primary supervisor over here, who is like gangster when it comes to editing. She's like, you know, she speaks that UK English, that George's English, you know. So I'm like, you know what, I've got this, I'm good to go. I lose one supervisor. Yeah, she's like, look, it's not you, it's me. Okay. No, but she said, look, it's not you, it's me, which I believe. So she had stuff going on which I knew about, and it made perfect sense, right? But you've just been rejected. So of course, this thing in your head is like, you know. And then at the same time, now because I've got 2 new gangsters on board, people are now like, yeah, but go this way, go this way, go this way, go this way. I'm like, yo. I'm like, woo, whiplash. I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm telling you, Gabsters, it was hectic. I make it probably not, I don't know, but this is how I'm telling you the way I felt it. Someone else could have looked into the situation and said, nah, it's not that bad, right? So then I'm left with 2 supervisors. Nah, great, it's fine, you know. I'm not stressing about the fact that I've just lost one supervisor. I'm like, look, that's not the point. The point is, and she's like, look, you can always come to me, and even though it's not you and it's me, you can always come back, and basically, if you need like to talk to somebody or like ideas and stuff, come to my office, we can still talk. It's just that I can't give you the time that I need to give you for this particular project. I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. I told you guys, we've got 2 weeks for me to make these corrections and hand it back in. I write my corrections. I send it to my 2 supervisors. Dololo. Nada, 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 nada. Yo. I'm like, what now? What now? What now? Hot dog. I'm telling you, I am now. Hi. 2 weeks go by. End of May. June. Mid-June I go to Swaziland. July I come back. Stuff's happening, you know? But basically, I'm sort of in this limbo, no man's ground. I don't know what the heck's going on, whatever. Basically, in the 2.5 months, 3 months, nothing happens. So anyway, now those faculties now emailing me saying, "Dear Ms. Lamine, we can see that you haven't handed back your proposal. What's going on? What should we do? Come in and let us discuss it." Luckily, one of the 2 gangster supervisors, one of them goes and says to the faculty, "Look, we're having internal issues, so can you just chill? It's not, can you just chill? Let's sort out we're still sorting out our issues, no. Which was great, because then it sort of took away that heaviness of, the university coming back and sort of hitting me over the knuckles, or me getting a penalty over, situations that were just beyond my control. So, where are we now? We're in July. So mid-July, one of my supervisors comes and says, "Look, let us go back to basics. Let us not try to be fancy. Let's go back to the drawing board and let us keep it simple, stupid." How's that kiss thing from high school? We basically was like, okay, keep it simple, stupid, So, went back to the drawing board, rewrote the proposal. I'm now a full year behind, July. I'm a 1 year, 2 months behind with my studies. And I am freaking out. But at the same time, the long process has, I think that we all have expectations of how things are going to go, and when things don't go our way, we start freaking out and we start making all sorts of things. But I can definitely say that the long process of this PhD has actually potentially made my research focus a lot stronger. I think that I'm a lot clearer in terms of what I'm trying to achieve. I think I'm a lot, I just think that I feel a lot secure. I feel a lot more secure about the topic, and that I've taken ownership of the topic in ways that I probably hadn't done prior. And the internal problems and the struggles and everything else, although very frustrating. And I mean, when you're sitting there and you're watching time sort of just go and go and go and go, it's like every day just feels more depressing than the last day, and every day just makes you feel like 100 years further away from your finish line than the day before. It doesn't feel like a day away from your finish line, like every day as like another 100 years, it just because it's so meaningful to you, and each day counts so much that, literally those 2 months felt like 6 months. Those 3 months, 2 months, whatever, they felt like 6. I literally, not even 6 months, I felt like I've gone through an entire year of school in the last 3-4 months. I literally just emotionally, I've been just traumatized, And the thing is that, I mean, people say, oh no, when you get a rejection, like I'm not the most academic person in the world. I know you're going to be like, but why are you studying? But I'm not the most academic person in the world. I'm not the best writer. I'm not the deepest thinker. I'm not the... Right. And that's why I'm at school, because I'm not all of these things, and I'm trying to learn a specific skill set to be the deepest thinker, to be a good writer, to be an academic thinker, and to be all of those things. The only place I can go to learn them is at school. However, when you're being marked on those things that you're not so good at, it becomes highly frustrating, and it highlights your weaknesses so much that you start focusing on your weaknesses, you know? And you forget that actually this is what school is about. School is about learning. School is about the things that you don't know. School is about, you know, getting through those hurdles, and every day you acquiring something new. That's what life is about, you know? I believe in challenging yourself. I believe in going for things that, you know, your passions, but your passions don't always come easily. They don't always come, it's not something that you're always really good at. You know, you could be passionate about something but be really horrible at it. I don't think that the fact that you're really horrible at it should stop you from doing it, unless you're going to idols. Then you shouldn't be. Then don't. No. Stay home. You don't need to. Like, but I mean, I think that like if it's something that can be learned, then definitely go ahead and do it. I mean, we all have hurdles. We all have, I mean, there's so, like, basically, I think it's a Richard Branson quote, or it's one of those Facebook ones, but they put Richard Branson's face on, which, you know, it could be somebody else's. Basically, I think it says something towards the fact that if somebody offers you a job or somebody asks you to do something, say yes and figure out how to do it after you've got the job. You know what I mean? Like, I believe in that. Like, that's my process. But I mean, I also know that there's certain things that I could never say yes to and expect to be really good at. Like, I could never, for instance, be like, yes, I will take the job as the heart surgeon, knowing very well that I don't know what are the chambers of the heart and basic things that could get me through. Whereas, like, with my writing, with my thinking, with my all of that stuff, you know, like, it's different, because I know that, like, your weaknesses, and when you get called on your weaknesses, when the things that you know you're not good at, and somebody else comes and says, actually, you're right, you're not good at them, that can be terrifying, and that can be very depressing, and that can be very, that can make you lose hope, that can make you not want to finish the journey, that can make you want to be like, you know, if you're running the comrades and somebody says, you know what, you've actually got a very bad running style, you know, that's why you're suffering so much. You could be like, actually, you know, maybe you're right, maybe I should get off this and come back next year and whatever. Or you could be like, it's fine, but maybe I'll make it to the end. When moments like that happen, when you get to look at your shortcomings in the face, and your shortcomings seem to be winning, you have the option of either basically crumbling and falling apart and just, you know, letting those shortcomings get the better of you. You also have the choice to try and overcome those shortcomings. And overcoming them doesn't mean that it will happen sort of like, oh, today I get it and I'm overcoming it. Overcoming it could be a process. Like with me, my writing is a process. It might take me longer to write stuff. It might take me longer to clearly and concisely put out my argument in the way that has the most impact and also clearly relays what it is that I'm trying to say. I mean, you guys can see it. I mean, there's videos everywhere. So imagine all of that on a piece of paper and then trying to figure out what the heck is her argument. So, it might take me longer to do these things. That's fine. But that doesn't mean that I have to give up on it. And it doesn't mean that, like, you know, if I don't get it in today or tomorrow or whenever, then that's a problem. It's not. It just means that it will take me slightly longer to get it. So long as I can see that there's improvements. If I'm not improving, then there's a problem, because then, excuse me, I'm either not putting in the effort or I'm not getting enough input to help me improve. But if you can see changes in your life here and there, it's okay. And also, it's also okay to have moments of just complete and utter emotional, to jump into that self-pity. and just sort of swim in it for a while, and just to be like, you know what, this is crap, this is hard, I don't know what to do, I can't face the world. I mean, like, literally, it's been horrid. It's been really, really, really horrid emotionally for me, and it's been really tough, because you sort of go into these dips of like, I'm doing okay, and then you like rise above, you know, you go into these dips where you're like, it's horrible, and then you try and rise above it, but then you try to write a paragraph and you go back into a dip. But I am at school to learn something, and I shouldn't forget that. And I think that we shouldn't forget that as people, is that we are here in this world to learn things. We're not here in this world to give up things. And I think that we should also be a lot more acceptable to ourselves, and just the fact that like not everything is going to come easy, and that's okay, and that we should work harder. I don't know if this video made sense. I honestly don't know. It'll probably require a lot of editing to get it together. But Gabsters, basically, there was a lot going on. I didn't know how to handle it for a while. Well, I tried to handle it for a while, it was going well, and then it wasn't, then it was, then it wasn't. So this is where I am now. So I've written out the Keep It Simple Stupid proposal. I've sent it to my supervisors. I'm waiting for their feedback, and then from that feedback I hope to hand it into the faculty either in the next few weeks or in the next month or so. So yeah, basically I hope that y'all gonna pray for me, y'all gonna pray for my Keep It Simple Stupid proposal, because I can't. I just can't, Gabsters. Sometimes it feels too hard. But also, my mother didn't raise no quitter. So, we shall overcome. Yes, we do get rejected sometimes, but that's okay. You will not always succeed in every attempt that you make. You just have to succeed in the final attempt. Bye, Gabsters. Thank you so much for watching, Gabsters. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. I'll keep you guys updated on how's the rest of the thing coming along and everything else. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share it. Thank you so much to my new Gabsters. Y'all have been too kind, too kind, too kind, too kind. Bye, Gabsters.